ready for this? It's showtime. Lights, fans, action. Oh yeah, we've got action. Faster, tougher, more ferocious. There's nothing like League. This is the Betfred Super League.
Got me here. It took a big chunk off. It's bleeding. It's bleeding. Oh no, it's bleeding. The thing just ripped my ear off. What do you think?
Hello and welcome to the most exciting period on the rugby league calendar. It's grand final week. It's Eddie and Stevo, the podcast once again. So much to get through, but grateful thanks as always to Betfred for their continuing support of us and the great game itself. So Old Trafford looms on Saturday night for Hull Kingston Rovers and Wigan. But this last weekend we had 3 grand finals that more than caught the eye. First of all, congratulations to Dennis Betts and the Wigan women for winning their grand final against the previously dominant St Helens. A great win for Coach of the Year, Dennis Betts, his treble-winning year, and well done to Toulouse for winning the Championship grand final against York City Knights as well. And we'll talk about that in more detail shortly. But first of all, Stevo, the Rugby League NRL grand final we enjoyed on Sunday morning as Brisbane Broncos won against all the odds against Melbourne Storm. 80,000 people there in Sydney. First premiership for Brisbane in nearly 20 years. What a game this was.
Unbelievable. And talk about sending out a warning to our guys. It was sensational. Okay, there was a little bit of lax in, shall we say, defensive positions on both sides. But to score so many tries in the opening 15, 20 minutes, I mean, it was always going to be a classic. And it was superb. But it's the biggest warning that they've probably sent over to this country in regards to the fact that it didn't matter who they selected to go on the tour. The Australians are going to be very difficult to beat.
Oh, they are. We all know that. We knew that even before this match at the weekend. But you're right. 3 tries in the first 16 minutes. And again, Brisbane having to come from behind, which they've done for the last 3 weeks.
It was so fast, Eddie, that it didn't surprise me that either side had so many missed tackles because the pace of the game was incredible. Probably one of the best games I've seen for many, many a year.
Yeah, I think Brisbane missed 54 tackles in all during the course of the game. I mean, that's unheard of in the NRL.
Yeah, of course it is. And I mean, if you did that in any sport, especially rugby union or rugby league or whatever, you'd finish up losing. They'd finish up winning.
Yeah, and Michael Maguire, the coach, he's joined an exclusive band of coaches now to win the NRL Grand Final with 2 different teams. And, of course, he had a little bit of success over here with Wigan too, didn't he?
Oh, without a doubt, he's a fine coach. Amazingly, a lot of people up in Brisbane, they said, he's running the players into the ground. He doesn't know what he's doing. Well, maybe some of those fans, or so-called fans, might just have a different opinion because he knew that there was a little bit of lax coming into, shall we say, the Brisbane players. They sort of just didn't want someone from outside. It's a very, very compact organization. And a lot of people were saying, we don't need someone from out of the area to run the club. But it's proved to be right. You've got to work hard to make sure you win. And to do 3 games on the trot, to come from behind, 2 games 14 points behind, and last week they were 10 points behind, and finish up as the champions. How good is that?
Oh, brilliant. Well done to Michael Maguire. Nice bloke as well. Really nice bloke. And Brisbane women made it a double for the Broncos winning their grand final too. Okay, Monday morning dawned. The Kangaroo Party was named for this Ashes series that's very much on the horizon now. Kevin Walters has named 24 men, 7 new faces, including Reece Walsh. Isaiah Yeo is the skipper again, one of 4 Penrith Panthers in the squad. Melbourne's Harry Grant, vice-captain. Regulars Angus Crichton, Cameron Munster included too. Stevo, this mob will be no mugs. 1970 since the last British Ashes win, and a first series we're going to watch in 22 years. We need an English win, but is this mission impossible?
It's never mission impossible, Eddie, because you've got to have so many players out on the field of play, and anything can happen with it. You know, there could be just a little bit of unrest in the Australian squad, maybe, who knows. But it's going to be difficult to select a team. Now, are we going to sort of look back and say, well, we need so many experienced players? Whereas you can see that the Kangaroos, they've gone for a lot of inexperienced players, new people that will be new to these shores. And that makes it a little bit of, well, I'm not quite sure about whether we can get the right side. But you never know. I never give up hope. How many times have we seen it where they say, look, Melbourne was supposed to walk away with the grand final. They didn't. So whilst you've got the opportunity to do 80 minutes, okay, we've got to win 2 out of the 3 to get the Ashes. And I think we've got a very, very good chance, providing that we select people who are playing well now, not picking players from their past.
Well, Sean Wayne will announce his squad on Monday after the grand final at Old Trafford. And on hearing the Aussie squad, he said this: it's been a long wait, but we've less than 3 weeks to go now until that first test at Wembley. And I can assure rugby league fans we will be fully focused and ready for that. I'm sure he will, because Sean will leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, well, look, he's a damn fine man. He's a damn fine coach. We know that. But the big question that's going around now, the man who's been named Man of Steel, Jake Connor, will he select him? A lot of people think that, you know, it is a sort of a different type of rugby league player. And since he's gone to Leeds, he's turned into not a good player, but a brilliant player. And I say well done to Jake Connor, because it's sorted his career out.
And so if you were Sean Wayne, you'd pick him?
Yes, pick people who are playing at the top of their performances through this season.
Well, we'll see. We'll see on Monday what names are in Sean's squad. Right, to the Betfred Championship Grand Final. And I wonder what will happen now here. Because Toulouse, surely, Stevo, they now must take one of the 3 spots available in Super League, though that mightn't go down all that well with the rest of the Super League clubs who are already talking about ditching the Catalan Dragons. They don't want 2 French clubs in, do they?
I just get amazed by the fact that we make everything so complicated.
Well, the committee, and I use that word advisedly, the committee will meet shortly to decide who gets in. But I'm with you. That's all wrong. I know we're 2 old divils and old school, but if you're champions of the division below Super League, you should be in as a matter of course, shouldn't you? What's it got to do with the committee's view?
Well, how many times have been saying that? I mean, IMG have come up with this, for me, this ludicrous sort of situation. I can understand that if you get 15,000 at the games on a regular basis, then you should be rewarded. But you've got to be playing well.
Well, the IMG league table has been published. The 12 Super League clubs are still there, of course, 1 to 12. Incredibly, Stevo, Salford are 8th, but they've withdrawn their application for a place in Super League next year. So it looks like Toulouse should come in. They are ahead of Bradford in this league table, London and York. And those 3 are 14th, 15th and 16th, respectively. The York coach, Mark Applegarth, said he believes both York and Toulouse deserve to be given a chance, but he said they'll have to wait and see. And York, of course, unbeaten for 20 games before Sunday. We're going to have 14 teams in Super League next year, Steve. Will that enhance or detract from the big competition?
Well, I think the biggest problem that we are increasing Super League is the fact that where are we going to get the players to fill? Because all the lower grades that we're talking about, they will have to bring over more experienced players into their side to compete. But at what expense? Expense of English players?
Well, there's a chance because there's going to be 140, there could be, Australians, New Zealanders, Islanders playing in Super League next year because each team now can have 10. Each team.
And to me, that is a kick in the you-know-whats in regards to the fact, why are we preparing junior development, etc.? How many times have I said it?
Weekly.
We're just completely ignoring them. I mean, I can't blame the players or the agents by just saying, I have a couple of years in the UK. What a nice way to finish.
Yeah.
And talking about a nice way to finish, isn't it nice that Jared Warrior-Hargreaves will be able to play? I'm talking about a player that came over for one season, Eddie, and then he's retiring. But it would have been awful for this guy who's put a lot of effort into our game to miss out on a grand final at Old Trafford. And I'm glad that he will be able to trot out.
Okay, let me be the devil's advocate. What's the difference between the tackle that was made at the weekend come Monday morning and the decision from an appeal committee on Tuesday night? If it's a 3-game ban, he is, as you say, now free to bring down the curtain on his career with this Old Trafford appearance. Fair enough. And, by the way, we're not a charity. If he was deemed to have committed an offence for a 3-game ban, why is it overturned 24 hours later?
I'm just as confused as you are, Eddie, because what we're doing is talking about an official either on the field of play or off the field of play. Do we know what they're going to come up with? We have no idea. We know that they make mistakes, especially the referees on the field of play for 80 minutes. We understand that. We have to accept it. So in this case, we have to take into consideration that committee has said, I think we should allow him to play.
Yeah,
it's all down to preferences. It's all down to sort of situations. It would have been awful for the guy not to be able to play in the grand final.
Oh, 100% it would.
I understand that, but that has occurred, especially the Wembley finals. That has occurred so many times where a player could not because he was suspended. But asking me or me asking you what goes on in these committees, hey, come on. We don't have months to be on this broadcast.
You're right. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, look, we're talking here about the Super League semi-finals. Friday saw Wigan getting through to Old Trafford for a record equaling 14th time, 3rd year in a row. I can see why you've tipped Wigan all year, Steve. They weren't great, really. Neither semi-final was in terms of quality, but Lee gave it a bit of a go. But in Bevan French and Jay Field, Wigan have the match winners and the match savers, don't they?
I think so. And as I said, before the season started, I made them my favourites. Fair play to Hulkington Rovers. They've taken the 2 trophies. That's fantastic. But I just sort of look at the team, look at the side that Wigan, and slowly but surely getting back into the swing of things. And if I'm honest, I've got to say that, Hulkington Rovers didn't finish their season as strong as what they have sort of midway through the season, if you understand.
I know what you mean.
And I just think that Wigan have been slowly but surely building up to. And look, we've got to make a little bit of an excuse at many times. So many injuries, so many people. You can have it going against you. It's not easy. But the way that they set up at Wigan to my way of thinking, before the season started, they look good. And I'm not changing my attitude for that.
I'm sure you're not. You've got to feel a bit sorry for Lee, though. They gave their all. Another year of steady progress. The build-up, Stevo, to the game, quite bizarre. Derek Beaumont allegedly saying they wouldn't be turning up because of the ticket allocation they received. They got 5,500 or thereabout. It was a right brouhaha all week. Derek didn't attend the game. He stayed at home and posted a picture of himself in front of his television set at home. The game, of course, was played. I must say, when I saw the swathes of empty seats in the corners, okay, not in the official Lee area, but there were hundreds of them. I think, with proper stewarding, okay, it cost a few bob, and security, proper, surely the problem could and should have been resolved. Couldn't Lee have had tickets for those areas and had another segregated area? What do you think?
I agree with you, Eddie, but we get back to that awful word, committee. There's a committee that has made a decision that it's not safe to, obviously, to not allow these seats to be bought by Lee fans.
And safety is king, to be fair. Safety is king.
Well, you think to yourself, we want a full stadium.
Yeah.
And why do they build a full stadium when they then come out with saying, but it's safety first? And I'm thinking, hang on, if it was safety first, then just build a 20,000 or a 15,000 stadium. You can't just keep turning it one side and this, that, and the other. And otherwise, it's just to me that our lovely game of rugby league is controlled by people from outside our game of rugby league. Or, and even worse, controlled by some people who are in our game of rugby league.
Okay, look, here's another dodgy question for you, controversial question. Answer me this. Why are semi-finals refereed differently than during the regular season? 50 minutes, 3 penalties from Chris Kendall's whistle on Friday night. And I don't think Lee got more than one in the whole game. Why? Why does it change when we come to the semi-finals and the finals? I mean, I hope the grand final's the same, by the way. It'll flow brilliantly. But why suddenly do we change after 27 weekly rounds?
I wish I knew the answer to that very quickly. But it's not just a coincidence. How many years have we done it? We've seen it at finals. First 10, 15 minutes, virtually do what you want. Belt each other, especially way back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. But Eddie, that's how it was.
And that's why you look like you do today, isn't it? I mean, as simple as that.
Well, listen, I can't help being born attractive. It's just that we seem to have this unusual sort of concept about we have to show the rest of the world that this is a great game. Just let the players prove it to us.
Yeah, and let it happen for 27 weekly rounds before we get into the semi-finals. I agree.
We just keep changing it and this and the other. And you ask the question, and I'm asking the question back. I've no idea why didn't they do it, apart from what I've explained. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right.
Who knows? We'll find out on Saturday. Right, Wigan were through. Hull KR face Saints on Saturday. We know now that they are through to set up a repeat of last year's grand final. Saints just couldn't match what they produced at Leeds the previous week, could they? A couple of things went against them. But I must say, the repercussions for Saints after this defeat, the Sky pundits, they seemed to write off Paul Welland's chances of a future at full time on Saturday. They don't think he'll be there next year. The All Out Rugby League website say that unless Welland's got Saints to Old Trafford, he was gone. And the decision had been taken, his contract won't be renewed. This is a brutal business, isn't it? You know, his first game, he got Saints a World Club crown, beating Penrith in Australia. Remarkable effort. He's only been there for 3 years. Saints demand ongoing and instant glory, don't they? If he does go, he follows Kieran Cunningham, another playing legend, out the door. I'd be sad. I'd be sad if it happens.
Yeah, but that's life, Eddie. It's sport. It's a sort of situation whereby people pay their money, the fans go in there, and the fans want to win. That's why they're quite happy to pay at the gate to come in and watch it. And if they don't think they're getting value for money, then they want to change. I mean, look, you've got to look at the Australian, the NRL. I mean, boy, you talk about the media getting on top and getting rid of coaches, etc. and so forth. It's ruthless down under.
Yeah, it's
simple as that. If you don't get it, I mean, remember how they got rid of Walters at Brisbane? Oh, dearie me! And you bring in someone from New South Wales. Oh, I can't believe it. I mean,
I know.
That's going from beer to lemonade. You've just got to try to understand what it's all about. It's the pressure that we put upon ourselves, and
it's a results-driven industry, Stevo. I understand that. I get it 110%.
Yeah, and
I can understand that.
If maybe Wellens wants to go somewhere else.
Well, I don't think so. I wouldn't think so.
But sometimes it helps, Eddie.
Well, true. It does. Well, listen,
you look at some of the teams that coaches have been at, and they go somewhere else, and wow.
It hasn't helped Lewis Dodd, Stevo, has it, going to Australia and coming back? He's now confirmed. He's left South Sydney and he's going to the Catalan Dragons after a frustrating spell in the NRL. The man who dropped the goal that won the World Club crown for Paul Wellens in 2023, he's coming back to Super League and he's off to the south of France.
Well, not a bad option as far as I'm concerned. Maybe not as hot as down under in Sydney at certain times in the summer. But the one thing he did get was publicity, and the other thing he got was a lot of money.
So good on him, and he's coming back, and we'll be interested to see how he goes next year. Look,
listen, he's a good player. You don't win, a world championship without being a good player.
No, you're right. Well, he's got a lot to prove. He had 6 games in the NRL, and he lost in each of one of them. So when he comes back to Super League, he'll be in the running for Man of Steel next year. We know Jake Connor is the Man of Steel for 2025. Coach Willie Peters is the Coach of the Year, and he's made history, Stevo. He has become the first coach to win back-to-back accolades in the Steve Prescott Man of Steel Awards night as the Coach of the Year 2 years running. So Willie Peters on a high going to Old Trafford.
And fully deserved. He's done a fantastic job there. And it's got the players' minds working together, not just a one-off situation or whatever. And, they all are saying Mikey Lewis, if he's in top form, then they could win. But also, the opposition will be saying, if we shut down Mikey Lewis, then we shall win. So it's a difficult situation. I'm looking forward to it, the grand final. I think this is going to be a real good classic.
Oh, it will be. I'm sure it will be. I mean, it was tight as a drum last year. Willie Peters says he's changed the way Rovers will prepare for Saturday. Last year, they didn't go to Old Trafford the day before. This year, they will. He hopes the novelty, that's what he calls it, the novelty of playing at Old Trafford this year will have worn off by now. So he's leaving nothing to chance, is he? Nothing to chance.
Well, that's why he's a good coach. And revenge is something that can motivate you to the highest level. And look, I think that it'll be a lot closer than what a lot of people think. I've heard that Wigan will trounce all over them, mainly due to the fact what I said earlier. I didn't think that Hulkinson Rovers at the latter part of the season were hitting their straps as much as they did at the start of the season and midway through the season. But we'll have to wait and see. And as I say, I think it's going to be classic. Don't miss it.
Yeah, and you're not changing your mind. You're tipping Wigan Warriors to be the winners of the grand final.
Yes.
Well, the Rovers beat Wigan away this year and then lost to them at home. Doesn't help with your predictions, this, does it? That sort of stuff. It really doesn't.
Listen, I've been to so many concerts over the years, right? And times I've gone to the concert and they were fantastic. I go 2 years later and they were rubbish. It's all a matter of what you produce on the day.
I can't see the analogy. I can't see the analogy from a grand final to a concert. I can't see it, but I guess I know what you mean deep down.
Well, the only difference is that the band doesn't pick up a trophy.
And the band doesn't play all the right notes. You think Wigan will on Saturday night?
I certainly do. And by the way, let's not forget that the Australians, right, are coming over, and they've had a little bit of an upset. Lomax and Coates are out, and Bradman Best from Newcastle and Ado Carr, the man they call the Fox, from Parramatta. Those two will fill, and they will be on the tour to the UK. And they're two fine players.
Well, they are, but let's hope they're not singing off the same hymn sheet either, and it all goes radically wrong in the orchestra stalls for the Aussies when they land in England in a week's time or so.
Orchestra stalls? Which,
when
was the last time you went to a concert?
Oh, I don't go to concerts. I go to theatres. I watch quality, and I'll watch quality, Steve-O, on Saturday night. And I'll have the pleasure of your company for the whole of the grand final.
Hang on, Eddie. Listen, I reckon I'd struggle, because if you said to me, "Who's Maria Callas?" I would have said, I think he played in the centre for Huddersfield.
I think his name's Maria Callas, but never mind. I think people get the gist of what's going on here. Look, all I can say is bring your wallet this year, for God's sake, will you?
You know as well as I do, I don't own a wallet.
No, you never deal in cash. Cash is king, Steve-O. Have you not heard that? Cash is king in 2025. Look, I look forward to seeing that happy, smiling face at Old Trafford on Saturday night. And I'm sure we'll have a great night, a great game. And let's see if you're right and we can win the trophy again. Thanks for talking once more. Always a pleasure, never a chore. See you on Saturday.
Take care, top man.